If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
In Indianapolis, Glenn Clark with you. Drew Forrester's here as well.
I finally figured out after a week what I like best about Indianapolis.
What's that?
Getting ready to leave in about 3 hours.
Yeah, all right.
One more night for me. One more night. You guys say day, I say night.
All right.
We have so much to get to today on the show. So many wonderful things coming up, including A.J. Green from the Bengals, Ingrid and Sarah Harbaugh, the wives of John and Jim Harbaugh, respectively. Vanilla Ice stopping by at one point today. Marcus Allen, Hall of Famer. Wow. Plenty of stuff to do. To kick it all off, we're not wasting any time.
And you see that's what you
did
there.
That.
Nice segue.
I see what you did there. Now, Morten Anderson, you're gonna enjoy this because I would be a champion for you to be in the Hall of Fame if I had a vote. I don't have one yet. I'll probably never give me one.
You ought to have a vote.
But
you ought to have.
I think punters and kickers. I'm with you guys. None of these are. I tell you what, you'd never see Ray Lewis kick a 54-yard field goal.
There ought to be 20 busts. There should be 20 busts of punters and kickers with 1 bars across that Canton, Ohio Hall of Fame.
Correct. When's Deion Sanders ever punted a ball 51 yards?
Yeah. How many points did he score?
Yeah, right. You scored a record.
Yeah.
I mean,
how many times did he stumble off of Bourbon Street? What?
Well, I mean, I digress. I don't know about that.
Wait a minute.
Maybe once or twice.
Wait. A moment of clarity.
That was you? No.
Morten Anderson Jones. It's funny we were talking about this Hall of Fame thing because Matt Stover just won the Ring of Honor in Baltimore.
Cool.
It's a really unique honor, and
congrats to him.
Only a handful of players that are in there, including guys like Jonathan Ogden. So it's a really unique honor. But there's an argument Matt Stover would be in this group if kickers were more respected in the Hall of Fame. There's an argument he'd be in the group. Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all. The more talk, the better. The more we get it out in the open and talk about the position as a viable candidate, viable position. It's a go-to position. I mean, if you look at the position of kicking, more games have won or lost on the right or left foot of a little guy whose name is really hard to pronounce with a 1-bar face mask.
We don't really want to.
Fact.
We don't like talking about how many games are lost.
Yeah, it's a sore subject.
That was really not. That was not the norm. What happened in the AFC Championship game? That's not Billy Cundiff. We know what he stands for. We know what he is.
If he called you today and said, "Morten, give me some advice," what would you tell him?
Well, I would just say you got to have a plan B in case something goes awry and you have to speed up your pre-kick routine. It just looked to me like he was rushed. It's almost like you got to reset the engine, you got to reset the computer, reboot it, and you just got to have a condensed version in case you have, let's say, 10 seconds versus the normal full clock. And it just looked to me like you almost want to just take the 5-yard penalty there or a timeout. I know that hindsight's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to dissect that particular down. You just got to be aware. You got to have awareness on the sideline, and you got to be aware of the game, what the situation is, and the gravity of it, and get in there. And I've been in that situation where all of a sudden I go, oh, shit, I got to go.
Right.
Running out of time here.
Right.
And then usually we would just say, let the clock run. We'll take the 5-yard penalty because it was a 32-yarder. They would have made it a 37-yarder. You should be money 40 yards and in anyway.
Yeah. Usually is.
So, but really, again, it's easy now. We're sitting here, on Radio Row talking.
Morten, what's that moment like? When there's so much on the line, and you're making a difference. What's that moment like, and what goes through your mind?
When it goes the way it's supposed to, it's a very peaceful, quiet little place you go to. You own that work.
It's muscle memory, right? You just get up there and do it.
You work, you trust it. You trust it, and you own that skill, and you've rehearsed it so much. It's like a 4 or 5 foot putt for the pros on the PGA Tour. It's a closer with 2 outs and bases loaded, and he's got to throw a strike, and he just knows how to. Rivera for the Yankees, he throws a strike because he's trained himself to do it so many times. And you earn the right to play the game at its highest level on Sunday afternoon. You earn that right during the week. Billy Cundiff is an outstanding kicker. He's maybe one of the all-time greatest. It really is. His career's been great. And you are measured in some ways by defining moments. That one is the world of suck for Billy. I know. That's a sucky way to end the season. But I know he's going to bounce back. I've had misses, and you always have the next one. You always got it. Hopefully you got more kicks. Where you can just go out and learn from that and say, okay, I was rushed. I should have just reset. I should have condensed it. And there are ways you can do that with verbal cues, with breathing, and so forth. And sign up for the boot camp, and I'll teach you all about it.
Yeah, knew that was coming. The fans in Baltimore are saying stuff like he's got to go because he can never be trusted again, and the players won't trust him, and there's just no way he can come back from that. Tell the fans of Baltimore why they're wrong.
They're wrong because if you study history and if you study Billy Cundip's history, you understand that he's got a lot of skins on the wall, and he's been in defining moments and has succeeded. Yes, he failed at that particular moment, but if Baltimore catches a pass in the end zone, we're not talking about Billy Cundip missing a 32-yarder from the right hash. So there were a lot of other stuff that you can point the finger at and say, this is why the Ravens are not in the Super Bowl.
I went out afterwards. This is kind of funny. I went out. We did a little video shoot after the game, and I went out on the field, and I stood at the 22-yard line, and right where it was. And I looked up, and I said, well, hell, I could make this. I mean, come on. And then when I looked up again, the goalposts are way more narrow than you think they are. I mean, they honestly are. They're
16 feet 8 inches.
Yeah, they're very narrow. When as a fan, or even in the media, when you're watching the game and any other vantage point, they look way wider than they are when
go
you're
out to the 50-yard line and see how narrow it gets out there at 60. But it is.
And I'm not making an excuse for him, but they're way more. There's a lot more squeeze to it than you think.
People always ask me, Morten, what do you aim for? What do you aim for when it's windy? What do you aim for indoors, outdoors, whatever? I say I always aim for the middle because it never changes. And I think you just pick a target through the post. You don't really concern yourself with the parameters. Excuse me.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.